Well, we have to do the newspapers. Mamavi, good morning to you. I love your green.
Good morning, Roland Walker. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great. All right.
Today's what? Wednesday?
Yes, it is.
This week. Oh.
Why, the year they go fast for you,
I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about the money, you know?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
You go take all buy food for the children.
Charlie.
You get plenty of school fees pay. Don't forget, even though it be online.
Oh, Roland, we have to discuss school now.
Even though it be online, even though it be online, I think it's the most annoying thing we're not used to, because we have to do alternative means of learning and using the internet-based platforms. And then when you're asked to pay school fees, you say, what? You know, we're used to face-to-face. So once the kids are not going through the face-to-face, you feel that why should they? But you know, the schools too have invested in these alternative platforms, the IT or the artificial intelligence platforms, and they are expensive to roll out.
But check this out.
Don't try to downplay my level.
They're supposed to start like the third term. So if we do online, are we still paying the school fees?
Yes. You haven't been told.
The full fees?
You haven't been given messages.
No.
And you know, I love the way when you're communicating on WhatsApp and those ones. You see that one, there's no emotion. It's very non-emotive. So the school just put it there. Bang.
No. It's not possible. You still have to call like a virtual PTA meeting. We've got to agree on that.
Yeah, but I'm saying that once it's not face-to-face, you don't have to empathize with anybody emotionally. So, I mean, you just put it there.
What I do know, really, is that the private schools wanted to start.
Okay.
But the Ghana Education Service says, no way, you cannot. I mean, it has to be a state decision. But the thing is, if I am not doing the face-to-face, remember I pay for face-to-face, I pay for other things as well because we are using your facility. Now I'm using my hall mainly, I'm using my electricity the whole time, and I'm using my internet. So the fees won't be the same. But then again, I'm also thinking about the fact that the schools have also employed people that they have to pay.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm not getting exactly what I pay cash for, then I shouldn't pay the full fees. You don't think so?
I think so in some regard. If the fees usually are very high, you know, there are some schools that the fees are high. So if that is the case,
whether it's high or not.
But you know, if you're in such a predicament or situation, you're a parent, or even yourself going to school and you have to pay fees because you're using an internet-based platform and you don't seem to understand, please let us know and tell us your situation. And we have our WhatsApp platform, but we also do have...
we have to also direct you to COVID and the law, because Samson dealt with the subject 2 weeks ago. I'm just, you know, thinking about, do I pay the full fees? Okay, let's do the newspapers. We're not paying for that, so let's start with the newspapers. Time for the review. I'll do the Finder, the Daily Statesman, and the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Let's begin with the Finder, and here's what's on the front page. COVID-19 infections at peak. Decline depends on adherence to prevention protocols. Comes with a picture of the Health Minister, Kweku Agyeman, who was, oh gosh, yesterday,
was it an appeal, or he was being emotional?
Oh, I mean, I think he was talking like a father who thought his children were not doing the right things,
right?
You know,
you see, for me, I think that the commendation has to go to the president, coming to the COVID team and the rest of the supporting technocrat experts that we have who are doing the thing at the top. My only issue is, and I think I've mentioned this, but I don't know whether right here, I feel that maybe heads of the various MMDAs have to follow through, because then they can do the trickle-down work. Because in my community, which is a very mixed community of those who have and have nots, I've not heard anybody using a van to drill down the information into the minds or the ears of the people. Because we know the behavioral patterns of the ordinary Ghanaian. I mean, when you talk the big English and you speak the nice, whether vernacular on radio, etc., unless you follow through and do the daily marking, it just doesn't drill down that awareness is there. They have to put on the mask or observe the protocol. And I think that it is What is lacking?
So this is what I also observed, and this is my interpretation of quite a bit of things that have happened. Often, the decision is taken, and those down there will have to rush and try and see how they can make it happen on the ground. I think that's been our problem. If it's coordinated at the same time, if they're on the same pace. Remember when the lockdown was lifted, for instance, we had issues with the market immediately because they now had to strategize and see how they could do the social distancing in the market, how they could enforce, let everybody wear face masks and stuff like that. I think that's the problem, really. I think that's really the problem. We can ask the MMDAs down there to take ownership, but at what point do they get the information in the first place? So let's look at the rest of the stories on the front page of the Finder. Still on COVID, CBG shared 500,000 Ghana cedis worth of food during lockdown. Adongo's accusations against Osafo for baseless, according to Carlos Ahenkra. Donnelly called for de-escalation of politics on COVID-19 when government responds. That's according to Information Minister Kojo Ponkroma. Shopping malls in Accra laments decline of patronage. It's going to take a while. Malls is going to take a while. You know, we will pick up. Let's do the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Government seals 3 billion Ghana cedis deal for industries to cushion them against impacts of COVID-19. Noguchi free for real-time COVID-19 tests. Government supports media with 5,000 PPE. SC, Supreme Court dismisses cases against Ken Oforiatta, $2.2 billion dollar bond, and then Ghana-US military cooperation agreement. So 2 key things the Supreme Court dealt with yesterday, making headlines. In the center spread of the paper, well, details of essentially what's on the front page by way of headline, the details of the stories in the center spread. So let's turn attention to the back page. Plans to construct 4 interchanges in Kumasi in the pipeline, according to the Minister, Roads and Highways Minister, Kwesi Amoakwata. Arrest families who abandon their mentally ill relatives. Government has been urged to trigger the immediate enforcement of sections of the Mental Health Act that criminalizes families who abandon their mentally ill relatives as the country strives to contain the spread of the coronavirus. Let's do the Daily Statesman. I'll end with the Ghanaian Observer, the Daily Statesman front page. Supreme Court dismisses $2.25 billion Eurobond suits. Let's not toil in vain. Health Minister appeals to Ghanaians to adjust lifestyle in COVID-19 fights. But he also sounded frustrated.
I think it's just
coordinated.
No. So it has to go down. Community by community, somebody has to be responsible for something. And I think that is the MMDCEs who have to take up this charge. I don't think they are doing enough. Because you know, Kojo Ponkroma and the rest of the team, Charlie, they do great work.
Roland Walker.
They do great work. Yes, madam.
You can go and stand on the podium and scream.
No. I'm not talking about podium.
No. I'm making a point here.
Okay.
I'm just saying that if it is not coordinated well, communication, and yesterday we did a brief analysis of the press conference and the things that were said. I did with Winston Amwa. Are you giving us information or you're educating us? There is a difference. Is it information or is education? Both would need different strategies. So we've got to consider that very carefully. You can stand on the top and scream. It won't get anywhere. You can sound frustrated. It will still be the same story. I mean, we know us, don't we? Even when we were under strict lockdown, look at the efforts that went into enforcement. People just came out. It had to take something. So if we behave like we don't know what it takes to enforce anything that we want people to follow in Ghana, then we will be here for a very long time, Roland Walker. Lifestyle changes for a typical Ghanaian. Massa, you have to be on it for a while. And we know what we have to do. Enforce. Do you get what I mean?
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. Otherwise, you can scream all you like. We will still be here. Well, you feel me?
I feel you. That's why I think that the MMDC need to do that job. What do you say?
Charlie, let's do the Ghanaian Observer, yeah?
Please
Last paper for me, Ghanaian Observer. Coronavirus pandemic, Noguchi clears backlog of samples as Ghana's vigorous testing regime hailed. Supreme Court clears Finance Minister over $2.25 billion Eurobond saga. Adongo out to tarnish Osafo Mafo's image, according to Carlos Ahenkra. Baumia punches Mahama. But we know social media has been hard on him. And yeah, all right, back page, a couple of sports stories, but we'll leave that to Benedict when he comes here to fill us in. Yeah. What have you got, Roland?
Talking about sports, you heard that the English Premier League board say that it looks like what they are estimating, some £200 million could be the hole that the various clubs need to fill. And they are looking at how they can bounce back, and it's not going to be easy, just like the way countries are suffering. Yeah. But let's go to the Custodian, and my good friend who is the managing editor of this paper, Awudu, as well as to your son and your wife. Good morning to you, Awudu. The Custodian has on the front page, Supreme Court clears Ken. I mean, Ken is reference to the finance minister who has his picture attached to the front page story. Headline, Supreme Court clears Ken on $2.25 billion bond issuance. Throws out NDC's Brojajim fee. And that is on the front page of the Custodian newspaper. And then we have apologized to Osafo Mafo over Unipass, Carlos Ahenkra, who is a deputy trade minister to Isaac Adongo of the NEC of Bongo. We have wrong use of Veronica Bucket's code spread COVID-19 UDS research. Mama, this is quite interesting, coming from a researcher with the Department of Biotechnology of the Faculty of Agriculture at the UDS Nyampala campus, and Dr. Courage Sechofia Saba is indicating that instead of touching them, and you know sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable trying to touch the buckets, and you finish washing your hand, and now you have to turn the tap off. Oh,
there's a skill. You use the same tissue you use in wiping your hands.
What if there's no tissue?
Oh, there's got to be tissue. You can have water and soap without some
so that is where we have to wipe. According to their research and observations, there seem to be infections that could come. So you want to prevent coronavirus, but altogether you're transmitting different forms of germs altogether.
Well, there's something I learned, reading around. So we've been talking about face masks, but what is even more crucial, more effective, according to research, is social distancing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll share a bit more.
And I think that has been emphasized by Dr. Letitia Adelaide Appiah, who is Executive Director for the National Population Council. Because even in Germany, they are saying that, look, the social distancing is the best way as they are opening up the country to make sure that people don't spread.
Yeah, because, when you do the mask messaging, people just simply think, oh, I can wear the mask and still be very close to you. Okay, what I mean? Once I'm wearing the mask, then it's safe. But the whole idea, the social distancing, stay very far from me. That's even more effective.
Yeah. So we have other story. Banks in resilient position to meet withdrawals, according to the Bank of Ghana. I don't know what this means, that we can all go and withdraw money and the banks will be cool, or that, well, you can just make the approaches to your bankers, you need whatever, and the bank will still be normal. Let's go to the back page of the same paper, the Custodian. GFAFA to consult government over the 2019-2020 football season cancellation. Because the clubs are just worried, they are lurking around, you want to do anything until they could slap some suits on you. English football clubs, though, they face £200 million hole by September. There's an evidence given in video camera by Rick Parry, and he's quite worried. Boss of the EFL. Okay, let's go to the Daily Guide. The Daily Guide has on the front page, human skull idol seized from killer priest. The suspects picture there in full nose mask. One not wearing it well. The nose is brazenly open.
It's a mouth mask.
Breathing into the air. Yeah, don't know how we do that. Other stories, the NDC goes ballistic over Baumia. That's how they decided to put it, because yesterday Twitter just went ablaze. Over 9,000 tweets on Twitter. And just,
what was the hashtag again?
I forgot it. Something Baumia.
Get to work or something.
Also, or yeah. Something, yeah. Covid-19 infections peak. And then we have a tune for happy birthday to you, Oteko Kosonana.
Is Otumfo's birthday today?
Yeah, 70th. Oh. And he looks good. Money is good.
Should have known that earlier. That
Mommy, if we have money, we'll grow well.
Guitars.
We'll eat well because we'll grow well.
Okay, how much money do you think you need to grow well?
So we go to the back page of the Daily Guide. Has on the back page, it's wrong to declare Barca champs. You know, the EPL is thinking if they don't bounce back, Liverpool has to be.
No way.
Mama V, the screen just
How do you call that a win?
The screen just showed. I think it's a bit impolite when you shout on our viewers. It's a bit impolite.
So don't say what you just said.
Bundesliga, no? The Bundesliga, back page of the Daily Guide, Bundesliga is returned to Bundesliga.
Anti-shouting, Roland.
This one is not shaking. The screen is not shaking. Bundesliga may return May 15. Charlie, putting on my bet skills.
It's wrong to declare Liverpool champs.
Charlie, Bundesliga.
Okay, let's do myjoyonline.com.
Okay. Mama V, I give you that. Let me see. Oh, let me do dispatch. Let me do dispatch.
Real quick.
Uncle Beneficent, good morning to you. So we have EC plans for new voters register dated April 15, 2020. They are pricing you of what the plans were. Registration will take 40 days. June to mid-July 2020. This thing to come off. Please get your loins. Okay? Get ready. When they open the registrations, and multiple of them, it's going to be butu. Go and register. Quick.
Roland, that's wrong information.
Okay. I'm talking about the dispatch.
Yeah, but it didn't say anything butu.
Quick.
Read what you see.
I want to behave like the local language.
This is Joy News. Let's do myjoyonline.com. Let's run by you. What's on our page this morning. And then two other stories, fascinating stories. One is a 5-year-old who was found driving on the highway. Yeah, we have details for you, but let's do myjoyonline.com. Here we go. Our top story on my jawline is the fact that data on Ghana's rate of Covid-19 infection shows the country's case count has peaked. That's according to Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Ebenezer Bedusa Kodie. He says, though, that the rate of infection is yet to decline, but this will only happen if the preventive protocol for the virus are adhered to. So, you know, that's why you have to do the right things. You have to do the right things. Okay, also on the page, this was on the bar yesterday as I presented it here on the AM show. Supreme Court grants man left paralyzed, impotent after accident in 2009, damages in excess of 600,000. That's a very strong decision there. Also, don't come out and gather unnecessarily, according to the health minister. COVID-19 Ghana to start daily testing May 7. Four Burkinabes arrested after entering Ghana illegally. Ablakwa backs call for temporary opening of Ghana's borders. He is also on our show. Yes, today minority leader calls on president to withdraw pre-tertiary education bill. Plenty other stories on myjoyonline.com that you can find time and explore. Let's do the BBC real quick before we make way for sports here on our show. So let's check out the BBC right now.
Right?
No,
because your sons want to buy Maserati, Lamborghini, when we know that their parents can't buy even the windscreen of such cars.
So this is a 5-year-old who was driving from Utah to California to buy a Lamborghini with $3.
Allah.
But thankfully, he was just 5 minutes into that trip when he was stopped by the police.
Just 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, because, you know, the right of discernment, And in the mind of a 5-year-old, I don't know how he would have been on the road if he had traveled longer. But that's where somebody has a great insight into how discernment is important, because he's a chief. Togbui Ajasi Jaga the 6th, you are senior divisional chief of the Awudome traditional area. You're also the acting president of the Awudome traditional area and chief of Awudome Avenue. Good morning to you, my good friend and good brother. And then you're also the managing partner of Savannah Consult, chartered accountant and tax experts. Good morning to you as well. And I know that you're doing some good work for your people. Sally for Combat. Good morning to you. Head of primary healthcare pharmacy, Boku Presbyterian Hospital.